This is W2FJH bringing up the STNY Digital Voice Net on Brandmaster Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721, and live stream to Google Meet, YouTube, and Discord. The primary purpose of the STNY Digital Voice Net is to help foster an active digital voice community in the southern tier of New York and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While this net is primarily for the southern tier, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. For more information about this net, please visit stnydmr.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in-and-out, or emergency power stations. We currently do have 6 other stations besides myself checked in this evening, so the net would like to recognize W2KDC Dennis, N3OJP Mick, N2QFD Mal, NE2W Ed, K3BYC Carlton, and N2NRA Cliff. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's first take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now.
KE2FFE, John and Binghamton, short time.
All right, and we have W2TXB Jerry. He came in through NetLogger. I did flip him in there. And also KE2FFE John, who is going to be short time this evening. All right, real quick, let's open it up for any and all stations that would like to join this evening. Please call now.
N3DQD.
All right, and we also have N3DQD Ray. Were there any other stations to join this evening? Please call now.
This is Kilo Charlie 3, Whiskey Victor X-Ray from Sarah, PA. Scott.
Alpha, Quebec. Tony from Oxnard, California.
All right, and we also have KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray Scott and KG6 Alpha Quebec Anthony, coming from California. I'm pretty sure you're going to be our DX station this evening. So very good there. All right, let's first jump over to John since he will be short time before we kick things off. John, this evening, the net topic was Canada is shutting down its RF weather stations across most of the country. That's going to be similar to our US NOAA systems, citing that it's too expensive to continue running. What do you think of this, and do you utilize NOAA weather station transitions? This net topic was from Mal and to QFD. So, KE2FFE, John, how was your week?
Hey Frank, W2FJH, good to hear your voice and everyone else on the net today. This is KE2FFE. It's been a long time since I've been on the Sunday evening digital net. Been traveling a lot and just seem to keep having conflicts every Sunday evening, working some baseball games and other things. So it's good to be back. Yeah, on that topic, I've probably got to give that some more thought. I mean, I would hate to see NOAA go away here in the U.S. That's the U.S.-based version of that. So yeah, hopefully that's not where we get to with us. I think it provides a pretty useful service and a safety-based service too. When bad weather's coming in. If I'm thinking of it correctly. So, but I just want to say hi to everybody real quick. I'll probably try to listen a bit, but I'm short time, so I'm going to have to run. Thanks for letting me jump in here at the beginning, everybody. I appreciate it. Kilo Echo 2, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Echo, handing it back to Frank and Net Control.
Hey, no problem at all there, John. Thanks for finding the time to squeeze us in there. So, all right, let's kick things off. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, please call now.
I got one NE2W.
Yeah, NE2W, fire away with your announcement there.
Okay, it's not ham radio exactly, but it is related. A lot of hams monitor public service, fire, police, ambulance type calls, and I ran across something useful. It's called US Crime Radar. I think their site's uscrimeradar.com or .org, but they monitor the scanner, public service scanner channels or frequencies in all 50 states and use AI to change the calls between the dispatch and the fire truck, if you will, into a complete exchange of how it started, what was the middle, and how it ended, and puts that together in a very useful format. And with them, you can listen to the call, you can see the location. It just provides a ton of information, and it's available. Like perhaps if you get home and say sirens were on the end of the street at noon, you could go in there and look at what happened at noon and see what the police calls were. It's hard to explain. It's so powerful. It's amazing that it can do that, and just encourage everybody to take a look. Thanks for your time, Frank. This is NE2W.
Hey, very good there, Ed. And yeah, thanks again for reminding me to take a look at that. I did a quick Google search just for U.S. Crime Radar, and I'm finding one that's crimeradar.app, but I'm not sure if that's what you're the same thing you're talking about. But when we do come down to your turn there, if you did have the URL that we could share along, that'd be great. So thanks, there, Ed. All right. Was there any other announcements? Please call now.
Here is N2QSB with an announcement for the net.
Yeah, N2QFE, now fire away there.
Thanks, Frank, and good evening to everyone tonight. Thought I'd pass along the Cuco Lake Amateur Radio Association will be having their Simplex Challenge on the 9th of May. So coming up soon here, Saturday, May 9th, they're going to do an event trying to see how many contacts they can make around the region that Clara, the Cuco Lake Amateur Radio Association, operates. So it's mostly around the Finger Lakes area and Cuco Lake, Hammondsport, Bath, some of Chemung County, and it's going to be 2 meter, 6 meter FM and sideband only, and simplex only, maximum power 50 watts. You can check it out at their website, Clara, KLARA.US, under the events. back to net control.
Hey, very good there, Mal. Thanks for passing that information along there. All right. Any other announcements for the net this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we'll move in for questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there either, so we will move in for comments. And just to reiterate again, in case you missed it the first time, the net topic was Canada is shutting down its RF weather stations across most of the country, similar to our US NOAA systems, citing it's too expensive to continue running. What do you think of this, and do you utilize the NOAA weather station transmissions? So, top of my list is W2 KDC Dennis. How was your week?
Good evening, Frank. Thanks for taking the net. Had a good week. No problems this week, and no problems means a good week. Had a couple doctor's appointments, and everything worked out fine. So that's about my story for the week, short and sweet. As far as Canada shutting down their weather system, uh, so much for Canada. I do use the NOAA system when I'm aware of storms coming, or if we're looking to get more specific information sometimes. Uh, Primarily, when the Ham Club is doing some Skywatch activity or something like that. Uh, Otherwise, I quite honestly don't get to know too many other sources to get the weather. But I would hate to see it go. I think it's something that should be continued, and would support its continuation. I think it's important to a lot of people in the country, just maybe not as important to me. But that's my story, and W2 KDC, pasting it back to you, Frank.
Hey, very good there, Dennis. And yeah, sometimes a quiet week is a good week, right? So, very good there. All right, moving on down to NCOJP. Nick, how was your week? Hi, good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. Well, pretty light week. We had some weather variables back home in Pennsylvania, but my wife and I had to be in Cleveland yesterday for some family things that were going on, and then I made a stop at Micro Center. They do a lot of online. They got several stores, but they're mostly in the Midwest. I think in New York they're downstate, more in the New York City area, Long Island. But anyway, it's quite a facility on the east side of Cleveland. And then we met some other friends of ours, and then since we were in Northeast Ohio, we just drove over to Chautauqua Lake here. Kind of a misty day yesterday, but today's pretty good, sunny all day. I was just looking at the article here about Canada shutting down the NWS. They use it quite a bit, especially back home. Um, during Skywarn, but also for some of the many features that are in there. With NOAA, they do give solar predictions and solar weather, so that's always pretty interesting.
And there's a lot of other features on there. So I've never looked to see what Canada does as far as their NOAA web page. But we can hear them, in Western New York here. You can hear the Canadian broadcast. Sometimes they're in French, and of course everything is in metric. So I don't know. Maintain the technology. Well, the technology's there. Of course, you always have a cost, but maybe they did a survey and see who actually listens to it. I don't even know if Canada does Skywarn. Frank, I'll turn it back to you. W2FJH and 30JP.
Hey, very good there, Mick. And yeah, that's actually a good question. I don't know if they do Skywarn or if that's more just a U.S. thing. And I did read the article. I might not be the same article that I see Mal had posted there. Sorry, I was setting up for the net there, but I was reading an article, and I did see that they also did transmit in French as well. So French and English. So that was interesting to know that they also transmit in French. So, all right, very good there. All right, moving on down to N2QFD now. How was your week?
Here is N2QSD. Well, good evening again, and good evening to the net. Pretty stock week here. We're cruising along on some projects in the greater Ithaca area, so work was normal, and finally getting one ready to roll here shortly. Should be in the next month, I'd say. We're going to do a little service on the west side of Ithaca. So one more thing to make traffic trying to get through Ithaca hard. We're doing our part. If it's not New York State DOT, it's New York State Electric and Gas. So yeah, and with the net topic, it just seemed like an interesting thing that came across my radar this week. It's already happened, according to the articles I've noted. Um, yeah, Canada stopped FM transmission, and I use our NOAA weather radio transmissions. I keep the local frequencies programmed in the mobile unit so I can listen while I'm driving. It's one of those things you'd think it'd be standard in car radios. There's not that many frequencies that the weather stations use. It would be easy to hit scan and find it wherever you are. But that I guess has never made it into the automotive market. So I really can't imagine not having terrestrial FM radio for that sort of service. But I do appreciate that it's awful expensive to keep high power transmitters running all the time when you don't know who's utilizing the service. So we thought it was worth a point of discussion tonight and passed it into the net. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on here, just the usual radio activity. HF bands were kind of over the weekend, and we're hoping the sun lets up and we get a little bit more in the low bands in the next week. With that, we'll turn it back to net control. Here's N2QSD.
Hey, thanks, Mal, and yeah, thanks for the net topic this evening as well. So, and yeah, you're right. It would be kind of nice to have that actually built into the car without having to have a separate radio, and it would be fairly easy for them to do. But I was also thinking that it would also for any sort of public service of hazardous road conditions or things like that they could also transmit to make drivers aware of objects in road or just somebody on the roadway that's all over the roadway. But they kind of do that a little bit, at least with like Google Maps and Waze. They have a whole self-reporting thing, but then you're trusting the community to be accurate. So a lot of construction it has been accurate of like single lane and stuff like that. Okay, well I know it's coming up that they're doing construction, but yeah. All right, we'll move on down to NETW. Ed, how was your week?
Hey, good evening, Frank, and everybody on the net. A good week as usual. I was working on getting my car had to fix quite a few things on it, and I was stuck trying to get the headlight off, and my son stopped by after work just in time to give me a hand. Some things on the car are a lot easier if you got two people. I know when I was younger, after school, we used to work on each other's cars, and whatever it was, we fixed it. And I mean everything from engine replacements. My specialty was the electronics. Some of the friend's car might have a wiring fire. I'd go to J.C. Whitney, get a wiring harness, and replace it. It's easy to do. It's sort of meticulous. You just got to take each wire at a time. But a lot of discussion tonight. And let me just finish. The week the weather was beautiful. We were planning to go to the Marconi Tower downtown Binghamton on Saturday, like we do every year. The club, that tower was put in by Marconi's company over 100 years ago, and there's a special event weekend near his birthday where the International Marconi Day. But unfortunately, it was cold and rainy and overcast. And we've done it before when it was cold and not raining. We've done it before when it was raining, but it was warm. But both things combined, just 40-degree rain all day long and the wind blowing. Just luckily they decided to cancel it ahead of time, and we'll look forward to next year. It's always a lot of fun. Let me catch a break here. Apologize ahead for going so long, but a question came up about Skywarn. Canada does have a similar thing. It's called CanWarn, CANWARN, Canadian Weather Amateur Radio Network, and it's operational. But one thing to notice, Canada does not get anywhere near the severe weather that the United States does. If you notice, the United States, a lot of ours are down south. You know, the tornadoes, hurricanes, stuff coming up. Where Canada's so far north, they're not affected by many of those severe events. They still get some, you know, blizzards and ice storms in some regions, but not the amount that we do in the U.S. And for them to turn off their FM transmitters, you need a radio tuned to that frequency to listen to that. And I noticed I get the same reports here when I turn on my cable TV. The cable company streams it across the top if there's a warning coming out. And it is a warning for my area, the town next door, the guys up north 60 miles away. It doesn't care where it is. It puts the warning out and interrupts my TV program. And also my cell phone gets it. I think it's optional on the cell phone. I haven't figured out how to turn that off yet. But that's my 2 cents with that. And like I said, it's just the FM transmitters. The Canadian Weather Service is called Environment and Climate Change Canada, ECCC. They're like our NOAA, and they're still around because it's very important. I did a lot of work with aviation and aircraft, and they rely on NOAA heavily to plan their routes before taking a flight. One more break, and then I'll be done. So the Weather Service ain't going away. It's essential for the airline industry and air flights. If you notice, a lot of the weather stations are at airports. And the other news around here, we're just sitting back waiting any day now as we wait for a new family member. The due date's May 8th. Everything's ready. It's just a waiting game. Exciting times ahead as we get ready to welcome our latest grandchild to the family. So that's what's going on here. Back to you, Frank. And how's your activities there? Back to you, NE2W.
Hey, thanks there, Ed. And yeah, you're mentioning the car, and I definitely I feel your pain on that. I know for my my Ford Escape. To change the headlight out on the left-hand side, I have to take the coolant tank off and move it out of the way so I can actually get my hand in to actually put in the light bulb. So definitely hear you on that. The cable company streaming the banners across the top, I've always considered that because a lot of people cut the cord there and they use streaming services, which I kind of have mixed feelings about that. That maybe they should, all the streaming platforms and stuff should have location-based sharing and probably just play the same banner. But at the same time, I know sometimes they, overuse it and it's for a severe thunderstorm, and I don't want that interrupting my show. So I have a little mixed feelings on that. But congratulations on, having a new grandchild coming in here shortly. So I'll send it back to you really quick there, Ed. I didn't know if you found the URL for that crime radar site that you had.
Yes, I did. It's www.uscrimeradar.com. Now, there is a app one that worked the other day. It wasn't working today. It might be my internet. The Spectrum's doing some crazy things. But the uscrimeradar.com will get you there. Over.
All right, very good there, Ed. Just wanted to make sure I got to the right app when I find some time to check it out there. So very good. Thanks a lot. All right, before I get to my next station, this is W2FJ80 with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Let me take a quick standby to see if there's any additional stations I would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
This is AD30 Denny in Floral City, Florida. Good evening, Frank.
N3DQD.
KD3AJN.
All right, and I have AD30 Denny, N3DQD Ray. I already had you in my list, and we'll also be adding KD3AJN Anna. All right, moving on down to K3BYC Carlton. How was your week?
This is K3BYC, Carlton and Darlington, Maryland. Good evening, Frank. Thanks for taking the net. Good evening to everyone who's checked in. And Ed, best wishes on the new grandchild. Well, I've had a pretty good week. I've got a busy week coming up this Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. Uh, Hartford and Cecil counties for Maryland, and York, Lancaster, and Chester counties for Pennsylvania. And we'll be doing our biannual drill for the Peach Bottom Nuclear Power Plant FEMA evaluated exercise. So Tuesday is everybody out going through their rehearsal at the EOC with all the agencies. And then for Wednesday, Hartford and Cecil counties will be on their own doing their sheltering operations. So we're always interviewed by FEMA members, everyone in there. So and it always goes well. So very well planned, and looking forward to it. As far as the weather radio channel there, a couple of our repeaters have alerts from NOAA on there that do happen, and we would certainly, it would be a big loss not to have that available. But I depend on just from my ham radio in the car, and then here in the house, I hear those whenever there is something going on. And in my scanner unit, and I've got a weather button. I'll have to push, and it'll find the nearest station there and give me a report there. So yeah, and of course we're having a Skywarm training class May 7th at our EOC. So I guess I look to getting certified as for the first time. So that's all I have for now. Everybody have a great week. And I'll turn back to net control. This is K3BYC.
Hey, Carlton, very good there. And yeah, it does sound like you have a busy week coming up there. And best of luck on the drills there. So. All right, moving on down to N2 NRA. Cliff, how was your week?
This is N2 NRA, Cliff from Waverly, New York. Well, so it was kind of wet week. Today was dry, tomorrow's dry, and it looks like Tuesday through Friday is going to be wet again. 67 degrees out as we speak, and yeah, sorry about the Marconi was canceled there event. In about Canada, I see Alberta wants to succeed from Canada, but I'm not sure if that has anything to do with their weather. But I think with the situation in Canada, they should do a study for a year to evaluate how it performs or doesn't, and then return to see if it would work out which way is the best way to go. So with that, we'll go back to net control, and this is N200A.
KW4U checking in.
Hey, thanks there, Cliff. And yeah, that would be good if they actually did a year review and went back to see how things were doing there without their other stations broadcasting that. But I would kind of think it's kind of hard to tell because they broadcast it, but I don't think that they can monitor really how many people are actually listening or using it at the time. But I guess maybe some surveys of how people feel, and maybe they could voice their opinions. A lot of people might not have known that they were going to shut them down that actually do use it until the day they actually shut down the transceivers. So, yeah. All right. Yep, we also did have KW4U, John, checking in there. But we will move on down to W2TXB, Jerry. How was your week?
W2TXP, not bad, not a bad week. Busy one though. Got a lot of stuff done. Today was really busy. Took advantage of the nice sunny weather and did some more stuff with the camper and getting some things loaded in and arranged and figure out things will go in this one, and that'll be good. And I'm going to plan some trips this next week. Try to book some good trips here, so that'll be fun. Spend some time with the power cleaning the outside of the house, the siding, and the front sidewalk from the driveway to the front porch, and the front porch. Got it all looking a whole lot better. Concrete went from black to tan, so it really helped a lot. It came in soaking wet. Had dinner and cleaned up, and figured I'd play radio here for a few minutes. Anyway, not much else going on, so I'll be a 2TXB.
Hey, very good there, Jerry. And yeah, we did have a nice day today, and I was also enjoyed tomorrow as well. I saw tomorrow, and I was looking. No, I have too many meetings. I can't take the day off of work. But yeah, it's also going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, at least here in Owego. So, right, very good there. So we did have KE2FFE John check in. He was short time, so we'll move on down to N3DQD. Ray, how was your week?
Yeah, W2FJH in the net M3DQD. Well, Frank, we had a pretty good week, although Hannah and I have not been feeling well for a few weeks now, so we just sort of were recovering this past week, but we're eventually going to get there. It's just one of those things that takes a little bit of time. As far as the NOAA Weather Service, we do occasionally listen to it, but more importantly, we have their alerts and things set up on our node. So what happens is, if they issue something, it actually comes across our radios through our node. For example, when there's high winds or storms, you can set it up for all kinds of things from them. So I pretty much have all the notifications available. And I don't know what to think about Canada. There was a lot of talk about shutting our NOAA Weather Service down a year ago, and now they're talking about upgrading it. So that's the story there. Back to net. This is N3DQD.
Hey, thanks there, Ray. And yeah, sorry, you and Anna aren't feeling well, but good you got some recovery this week, and hopefully you're feeling better there. And yeah, or at least for me, I haven't heard of them having any talks of trying to take it down, but it is kind of a thing that I do check from here and there, and I would like to actually try to find a device that basically could I could leave on and it would only kind of play the audio if there is an alert, but I'm sure I can find it. I just haven't checked myself for in a while to try to find a cheap little scanner to keep that up. So in case we are ever on, like you said, high winds or anything like that, I am alerted. So all right, we'll move on down to KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray. Scott, how was your week?
This is KC3WBX. Well, it's been a pretty good week, I guess. Pretty soggy, wet Saturday, but not a bad week. Yesterday, I decided to jump on HF and fell down the old rabbit hole of the Florida QSO party and ended up spending hours on that. It was a special spelling bee edition of their QSO party because of the country's 250th anniversary. They had 20 special stations. There were 3-character call signs, and they had the last letter of their call signs ended up spelling USA birthday. And one of the objects, besides getting as many counties as you could, was to try to get all 20 of those stations. Hell, I'll let this drop for a minute. Being that the bands were absolutely terrible, I managed to get 21 contacts. 15 of them were 20 of the special stations, but every single contact I made was 20 meters. There, 10 meters was dead. 15 meters was everything but dead. 40 meters was pretty dead the whole day, and then when it did start coming alive, there wasn't any stations on there that were participating in the QSO party. So it was a constant up and down the 20-meter band trying to find somebody new. But it was fun and got me on HF, so I guess it was a good day. This is KC3WVX back to net control.
Hey, very good there, Scott. And yeah, that does sound like fun. I like when they kind of mix things up and do more of a theme or something with it to change it up a little bit there. So very good there. All right, moving on down to KG6 Alpha Alpha Quebec. Anthony, how was your week?
Hello, Frank and everybody in the net. This is KG6AAQ Tony out here in Oxnard, California. Been a good week. I'm basically in the process of looking for a single-family home. I'm in a townhome in our condo, so I'm looking to move into a single-family home and expand on my amateur radio footprint, so to speak. as far as the NOAA, I really don't listen to it a lot on my radio. I kind of get that stuff when I'm online. I'm online a lot, and with the weather, so I really don't listen to it on my handheld radios or my radios here in the shack in the house. The other thing of interest that I've heard on another net was that WiresX 2.0 does not facilitate bridging. It doesn't allow any bridging, so I don't know if anyone's encountered that. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I just heard it that with the new WiresX 2.0, it doesn't allow any bridging of the other modes. So that's a big change if that's true with the WiresX. And I've just checked out this USCrimeRadar.com, and there's a lot of information on this website. It is very very handy. I'm on my desktop, so I don't know how the app works, but as far as the regular website for the desktop, it's very handy. This is KG6AAQ, back to net control.
Hey, very good there, Anthony. And yeah, I think you're actually coming in through WiresX. I want to say your audio was a little low there, but I'm not sure if maybe that's from our bridge or from your light gain possibly. But at least from my end, it was just a little low, just giving some feedback. But thanks for joining the net. And just by the way, in case you didn't catch the intro to the net here, you can find a lot more information about this net at STNYDMR.net. We also broadcast out to YouTube, onto Discord, and we do have Google Meet in case you're ever unable to make the net, or if you are having difficulties, you can always join us on Google Meet. So thanks for stopping by there. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice Net. Before I get to my next station, let me take another quick standby to see if there's any additional stations I'd like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard, so we'll move on down to 830. Denny, how was your week?
Yeah, Frank, W2FJH 830. Not bad. We're still down here in Florida. We're here for a couple more weeks, and heading back in the middle of the month. And it's starting to get Florida hot down here now. So I was out today, and we it's very dry. We haven't had hardly any rain today. Actually, we did have about a 7-minute shower, and that's the first rain in 3 weeks. Everything is very, very dry. We're in a drought down here right now. Haven't had any. We've been down here since around the 1st of February, and we have not had any appreciable rain. Just I think one or two. I think we had maybe 1.5 inches of rain since early February. So it's very dry. Wildfires and that kind of thing. And I've been playing around this week, and actually a lot this winter down here with. I've been playing around a bit with free DV, digital HF digital stuff, and that's kind of fun. Other than that, I'm starting to pull things together to head back north. W2FJH and a net 8E30.
Hey, very good there, Denny. And yeah, sounds like a plan. Heading down to Florida while it's cold here and coming back up when Florida gets too hot. So very good there. And yeah, sorry to hear about the drought. I didn't even know that it was so dry in Florida. I haven't heard anything about it before. All right, we'll move on down to KD3AJN. Anna, how was your week?
Hello, Frank, and everyone else on the net. Well, as Ray told you, we've both not been feeling well, but we're both on the mend, and hopefully this week will be better. Other than that, not too much else is happening here. As far as NOAA, I do enjoy getting their updates on the weather. I like to be prepared and ready for what's going to happen. Everyone have a good week. KD3AJN.
Hey, thanks there, Anna. And yeah, you and Ray definitely feel better there. So, all right, we'll move on down to KW4U. John, how was your week?
Hey, Frank, and all the rest of the gang on the STNY, going back almost 50 years, yeah, for sure, and plus, since I was there. 49 since I graduated, my days at Binghamton University. Anyway, week was good, accomplished a lot here and there, including getting a router. I intend to connect up to 44 Connect or 44 Net. At some point, we'll work on that project. And I think the subject matter tonight is NOAA Weather Radio, and I know Canada, as of, 1 month and 2 days ago, March 24, I think they pulled the plug on that. It's funny, I just got a walk song radio that has a 12-channel weather band, the 7 you'd expect the U.S. from 1 to 162.4 to 162.55 and 25 hertz increments. And then 5 other channels, which I guess are Canadian. I guess they can stop putting those on anymore. If they upload software or whatever. I like the climate data, and I do have a weather band on my bedside radio. And I guess I use it a lot, but I use it enough. I would miss it if it went away. But I can see the argument for it having been superseded by technology, everybody in the grandmother having cell phones, alerts, and those sort of protocols. My concern would be for marine operation or marine access. You're out there on a boat, you go too far away from shore, you're not going to get cell coverage. But those stations, you'll still be able to get good weather information from them. So I'm not in favor of seeing it go away. But like I say, that some are arguing for its abolition, some are arguing for its enhancement. So I guess those are my thoughts on that. There's one other thing I wanted to say, but I don't want to hold it too long. So I'll drop it and go back to net, KW4U. It was, if I can jump in. So I take it that the NOAA weather station in Binghamton is still at 162.475, which was formerly Channel 3 until, it still is on some rigs, if they rank them sequentially or not.
Hey, thanks, sir, John. And yeah, also glad to hear from another Binghamton University alumni. So very good there. I am not sure if it's Channel 3 off the top of my head or not, but I guess anybody else on the net that happens to know what the NOAA weather station in Binghamton is, please call now. This is KC3WVX. Yeah, KC3 Whiskey Victor X-Ray. Scott, fire away there.
Is he looking for the frequencies and the station that comes out of Binghamton?
Better KW for you.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Pick it up there.
If that was to me, yeah, that's what I was looking for. When I looked it up last, it was 162.475 KW for you, Freddie.
This is KC3WVX. That's what I'm seeing right now on the internet, on the NOAA station website. Back to net.
Okay, thanks there, Scott. And yeah, it looks like it was the same channel that you were thinking of there, John. So very good there. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital VoiceNet. I have reached the end of my list, so let's see if there's any additional stations out there that would like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's open it up. For any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns, please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so we might as well wrap things up here. I'd like to thank Dennis, Mick, Mel, Ed, Carlton, Cliff, Jerry, John, Ray, Scott, Anthony, Benny, Anna, and John for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Everybody have a great and safe week there. This is W2FJH, and I'll be listening.